From the UNC Hussman School of Journalism and Media, connecting Carolina's campus and community, this is Carolina Week.
Good morning, Tar Heels. Welcome to the first Carolina Week show of the spring semester. I'm Julian Berger.
And I'm Sarah Gray Barr. Thanks for joining us. We start the news with the latest on coronavirus cases on campus. The Omicron COVID-19 variant began spreading over winter break, leaving many students worrying about returning to in-person classes. The university left the decision about whether to go remote to individual deans and professors. But now the university is saying it's time to get back into the classroom. Reporter Kenzie Master joins us live from the South Building with more on the decision. Kenzie.
That's right. An email went out to the campus community saying that by next week, all classes must return back to the original mode of instruction that was advertised during registration. So that means if you signed up for an in-person class, that class has to be in person by next week. The university did say that exceptions could be made based on individual circumstances. Since the start of the semester, more than 3,000 students have tested positive for COVID-19. To figure out the next steps in this pandemic.
Before the announcement that
Reporting live from
to
Chapel Hill, I'm Kenzie Master, Carolina Week.
Before the announcement that classes need to return to the mode that was advertised during registration, professors were allowed to decide how they taught their courses. Some professors are saying they appreciate having options.
I'm glad that they gave flexibility to faculty that needed it. I mean, we've got a lot of faculty with young kids or do not have childcare, and I really appreciate the flexibility that those faculty had. And we had
I really disagree, and I'm frustrated by the choice to not have isolation dorms this semester. I can see the reasoning behind it, and I know it's because the university is saying that because the variant is so transmissible that there's no point in quarantining people who are positive. But ultimately, that just puts positive people back in their suite of up to 8 people and their room where they have a roommate. So it doesn't keep people safe.
Students and faculty who are affected by COVID can still have the option to meet remotely until their situation changes. UNC Chapel Hill resumed in-person classes amidst rising COVID-19 infections. This time, however, without COVID isolation dorms.
The university announced in a campus-wide email that students who test positive are encouraged to isolate at home, but they can also choose to isolate themselves in their residence hall. Some RAs say they aren't happy with the decision. The university advises students with COVID to isolate for 5 days. If after 5 days your symptoms are improving, you can leave isolation. The U.S. Supreme Court has agreed to hear an appeal of a ruling that UNC's use of affirmative action was legal. In 2014, UNC and Harvard were sued for racial discrimination in their admissions policies by a group called Students for Fair Admissions. The group lost the case. Both UNC and Harvard are named in the Supreme Court case. The Hussman School has narrowed down its search for a new dean after Susan King stepped down at the end of December. Here are the 3 candidates for the job. Dr. Raul Reese is currently the Dean of the School of Communication at Emerson College and a tenured professor in the Department of Communication Studies. Dr. Meenakshi Durham is a mass communication professor at the University of Iowa and was Associate Dean of Outreach and Engagement for the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences from 2017 to 2019. And Chris Rausch is the Dean of Quinnipiac University School of Communications. He is also a former UNC journalism professor. Hussman students, faculty, and staff have been invited to Zoom sessions with each candidate. We asked them what they're looking for in the next dean.
For the Hussman future dean, I would definitely want to see him or her more involved in different sections of journalism, so not just broadcast or sports, because as a current senior, that's something that I've definitely seen in past deans who have been more involved in those sectors rather than like written journalism or audio and visual journalism as well. And it also wouldn't hurt to have them be a person of color, because I feel like we also need that representation within the school.
And we're such a mix between journalism, visual communication, and even on that, that part of the house that's documentary, graphic design, but then also the majority of our students are advertising, public relations, strategic communications, working in social media. And so we're a big house. And so it's just somebody that's able to think very inclusively and very broadly and able to support, for somebody like me, students across the board, regardless of their sequence within the school.
There's no word yet on when the new dean will be chosen, but the position will begin in the fall.
While graduation is the highly anticipated event for seniors at UNC, students should also mark their calendars for a couple of important deadlines. February 7th through 11th is Ring Week. Students can visit the student stores to browse various rings and find the size and style that works for them. March 18th is the last day to make any changes to the name displayed on diplomas. If you would like to adjust your name, you can contact the office of the university registrar for more information.
After being one of the many halted construction projects on campus due to COVID-19, the UNC NPHC Legacy Plaza is currently close to completion. Reporter Michaela Williams shows us how the new plaza will honor historically Black Greek organizations on campus.
On South Campus between SASB North and South, the UNC NPHC Legacy Plaza will create a space for historically Black Greek organizations to come together and to be celebrated. The Legacy Plaza will commemorate the 9 National Pan-Hellenic Council organizations and all of their contributions to the Carolina community as they celebrate 49 years on campus.
The National Pan-Hellenic Council, it's also known as Divine Nine, and it's really a collaborative umbrella council made up of historically African-American fraternities and sororities. All of our organizations have really impacted Carolina's campus since our charter date, and for this reason, it's extremely important to recognize and acknowledge the richness in our history.
The NPHC Legacy Plaza will be about 750 square feet and include columns for each organization, as well as bricks and pavers that can be purchased by alumni. The NPHC organizations are looking forward to the plaza as the monument is the first of its kind at UNC.
As far as my fraternity, it's important to us because any student that's randomly walking by, strolling through campus or anything like that, they can look at the plaza and recognize our contribution to the NPHC as a whole.
The UNC NPHC Legacy Plaza is scheduled to be completed in April 2022. In Chapel Hill, Michaela Williams, Carolina Week.
With Carolina basketball comes Carolina gameware, but some fans may be disappointed to hear that Shrunken Head Boutique, the oldest UNC shop in Chapel Hill, is closed indefinitely due to flood damages within the store. Fans looking for last-minute spirit wear for the Duke game need not fret, because the small business is still fulfilling online orders at www.shrunkenhead.com. Other Carolina gameware stores like Johnny T-Shirts, Classic Carolina, Underground Printing, and Chapel Hill Sportswear will also be open for in-store shopping ahead of the Duke game. And speaking of Franklin Street and places being open, Chapel Hill welcomed 5 new restaurants recently. Seafood Destiny, Momo's Master, Bouquet Garni Foods, and Roots Natural Kitchen and Blue House Cafe all opened their doors this winter. And Chapel Hill may see a Raising Cane's, a Louisiana fast food chain, coming to the area in the near future. The restaurant chain purchased the former Lula's location. This will be the 3rd Raising Cane's in North Carolina.
A new art exhibit is currently on display at UNC's Haynes Art Center. Strangers Bundles, Hours of Woods by artist Mikiwa Orimo is a 6-piece mixed media installation. The exhibit explores themes of collective memory, community, and belonging. Inspired by Orimo's daily woodland walks during the initial days of the COVID-19 pandemic, she examines the relationship between humans and society. Her art invites contemplation, juxtaposing natural occurrences with man-made constructs to provide profound social commentary. The exhibit runs through February 18th.
Snow lovers are enjoying the chilly start to the spring semester. The Chapel Hill area got over 5 inches of snow during the first 3 weeks of class.
But if you're looking forward to spring, a warm-up is coming our way. Let's check in now with meteorologist Corey Kowitz about how long the nicer weather will last.
All right, guys, it's good to be back. We've had a lot of winter weather since I've been gone, but we're starting to snap out of that funk. We have a high pressure in place, contributing to the dry air we've been seeing. And the winds are going to come from the Gulf, bring with it some warmer temperatures. And that's why you're going to see the high get all the way up to the mid-50s today. A nice change of pace temperature-wise. And it's going to get even warmer on Thursday, mid to high 60s in the region. Water relief. We haven't seen temperatures like that in a while, but that increase in temperature is going to come with a chance of some rain. A slow-moving system is going to make its way through Thursday night into Friday, making Friday your end of the week a washout. Unfortunately, a lot of cold air behind it. So once that system moves out and we dry up, it's going to get a lot chillier once again. Mid-40s in the Triangle region, and those cold temperatures are going to come with another chance for some snow. Saturday night into Sunday, this is the GFS. It's the most bullish for our snow chances. It's a quick-moving storm, but it has us getting a nice swath of some winter precipitation, which could be a mess if the model stays true. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're going to see our warm-up. Friday is when we're going to see our washout. And after that, our weekend, it's going to dry out, but it's going to get chilly once again, and a chance on Sunday for some snow once again. So if you're a snow lover like me, you're in luck because we got another chance on Sunday morning. Back to you guys.
Instagram is one of the most popular social media platforms for college students, but it's also becoming a popular platform for investment scams. I sat down with ITS to find out why it's been happening and how you can avoid becoming a victim. Investment scams on Instagram have become the new trick hackers are using to get into your account and trick your closest friends to invest money. It's simple. The hacker asks that you send a small amount of money, like $300 on Cash App, in order to receive tens of thousands of dollars in return. But here's the catch. You would never receive that money.
And the scammers are making boatloads of money by taking advantage of us and our weaknesses and our gullibility in things.
According to a report from the University of Phoenix, nearly 2 in 3 U.S. adults have had their social media accounts hacked at some point in their life. And nearly 86% of adults say they limit the information they post online due to fear of their accounts being hacked.
For Instagram is they're seeing a lot of cases where people get their accounts taken over through either a phishing message or they use poor password habits. And once they get in the account, the scammers will change the password and now they own the account.
But there are things you can do to protect yourself.
If you use a nice long password that's it's easy to remember, but it's very long, those are just as hard to crack. Don't use the same password on different accounts. So don't use the same password on your Facebook account that you have on your Instagram account.
UNC students can use the app LastPass, a password manager where students can store all the passwords for any account they have, as well as have passwords created for them.
For example, for me, if I want to log into Facebook or I want to log into my Gmail account, I don't know what the passwords are to those accounts. They're stored in my password manager. They're big, long, ugly passwords.
I downloaded FastPass on my phone last week, and Sarah Gray, it has really helped me keep my passwords in order and remember which password is for which account.
I am so happy to hear that. A UNC alum and journalist is showcasing the diversity of the autistic community with his new book. In a UNC Libraries virtual event, Eric Garcia discussed his book, We're Not Broken, Changing the Autism Conversation. The book documents the experiences of people with autism, including himself, and explains the importance of life-enhancing services and protective policies for autistic individuals. He says his favorite part of writing the book was talking to people about their lives, and that working on the project allowed him to be kinder to himself. Many students trying desperately to score a ticket to this weekend's game find it to be a mysterious process. So how exactly can students score one of these golden tickets? Reporter Kasia Sari joins us live now to debunk some common rumors you might have heard about the student ticket lottery system. Kasia?
Thanks, Sarah Gray. I've heard so many rumors, ranging from how to increase your odds of getting a ticket through the lottery system or things that could decrease your chances. I spoke with Senior Associate Athletic Director Clint Gwaltney this week to formally answer your questions about the student ticket lottery. Let's start with some general rumors. If you receive a ticket through the lottery and don't attend the game, you have less of a chance in the lottery for future games. This is not true. Gwaltney said that your attendance at lottery games has no effect on your future entries. Whether you give your ticket away or do not attend the game, your chances remain the same moving forward. If you are not in the top 150 students in Fever Points, going to Fever events boosts your odds in the lottery. This is true. Going to Fever events always helps. If you are in that top 150 but didn't sign up for a particular game, the 151st person in Fever Points will receive a ticket. Gwaltney said every time you attend a Fever event, it helps you. Now, let's look at some rumors surrounding the famed UNC Duke game coming up this weekend. Every student is guaranteed a ticket to the Duke game before they graduate. Unfortunately, this is not true. The Duke Student Lottery is geared towards graduating students, but Gwaltney said they never use the word guaranteed in ticketing. The goal of the Duke Lottery is to get as many graduating students in as possible. But if more graduating students enter the lottery than seating allows for, some graduating students will not receive a ticket. An email sent out 2 weeks ago regarding the Duke Lottery clarified that verification of senior status does not guarantee you will receive a ticket through the senior distribution. We get one chance to see the Duke game. If you get a Duke ticket before your senior year, your chances in the senior lottery decrease. This is also not true. You are still eligible to use your senior status in your graduating year. You are just more fortunate than others. Gwaltney also wanted me to remind everyone that the standby line does exist for a reason. Not everyone who receives a ticket is able to attend, and the standby line is an easy way to get in. It is very rare that some number of students in the standby line do not get in, and this is true for the Duke game as well. If you receive a lottery ticket for the Duke game, don't try to sell it. You might get reported to Honor Court. If you can't go to the game, work with Carolina Fever or Carolina Athletics to redistribute your ticket fairly. This is Kasia Sari, debunking lottery rumors from Chapel Hill.
When it comes to the Carolina Duke rivalry, you either bleed Tar Heel blue or Blue Devil blue. There's no in between. Well, unless you're a Robertson Scholar. This select group of Carolina and Duke students do a campus switch in the spring of their sophomore year. But how do Robertson Scholars handle the rivalry when they're part of both campus communities?
The rivalry, I don't feel like any bad blood towards Carolina, but what I will say is I do find that Carolina feels some maybe some type of way towards us Duke students. You know what, I'm here and I want to take advantage of this, and like, I'll be a Tar Heel for a semester, I'm with it.
Of course, when you're watching the game, since your home campus is UNC, it's kind of like, you don't have as much passion in for it. Other Duke students kind of notice that they weren't cheering around, and like, well, at Duke, they're kind of very vocal about it. So, you know, if you're not really in, you know, they know.
Well, Sarah Gray, while the Robertson Scholars could technically root for either team, UNC students can only root for one team.
That's right. Coming up this weekend is the biggest game in college sports, the Carolina Duke game. But the Heels still had business to take care of this week. Let's go now to Sports Extra anchor Zach Engler to see how the Heels got it done this week. Zach?
Got it done is right, Sarah Gray. but the Cardinals didn't make it easy. The Heels were coming off 3 big wins in the Smith Center, but the Heels hadn't won on the road since they beat Boston College back on January 2nd. The Cardinals got the lead, but the Heels took it right back with this 3-ball by Brady Manick. The game was back and forth, but this R.J. Davis jumper put Carolina up right at the end of the half. Neither team could hold the lead, but watch as Caleb Love cuts through the lane and drops it off for Armando Bacot for the and 1 to put the Heels up by 2 with less than 60 seconds on the clock. But Louisville tied it right back up with 15 seconds to go, forcing the game into the extra period. Caleb Love made the first basket with this 3-pointer, and it was back and forth again in overtime. But this 3-pointer from Leaky Black put the Heels back in the lead, and Carolina secured the win 90-83. The Heels will face off against a team wearing the wrong shade of blue on Saturday. The men got it done in Louisville last night, and the women will be looking to do the same against the Demon Deacons tomorrow night. Following a heartbreaking loss to State on Sunday, the women's basketball team faces Wake Forest tomorrow. Guard Deja Kelly looks to break out of a slump. She shot just 13% during the past 3 games. Carolina looks to win its second straight on the road and add to an already impressive 16-4 record. As the men's and women's basketball regular seasons wind down, Carolina football is already looking forward to the 2022 season. After a tough loss to South Carolina in the Duke's Mayo Bowl, the Heels will be looking for redemption. They'll kick off the season against the Florida A&M Rattlers here in Kenan Stadium on August 27th. Week 2 will be a matchup against Appalachian State in the 3-game series against the Mountaineers. This will be the first time ever that the Heels have played in Kidd Brewer Stadium over in Boone. Week 4 will be the first of 2 off weeks for the Heels, leading up to a big matchup against Notre Dame in Week 5. Carolina will go on to play 8 ACC opponents, starting with Virginia Tech on October 1st and finishing off with, of course, the NC State Wolfpack on November 25th. The Carolina men's golf team will take the course for the first time this spring at the 31st annual Amer Ari Invitational. The team has traveled all the way to the island of Hawaii to tee it up against 19 teams in the 3-day event, which starts tomorrow. Carolina is the highest-ranked team, sitting at 2nd place among this stacked field. As we look ahead to the spring lacrosse season, the ACC is looking like it will continue to be a lacrosse powerhouse this season. According to the USILA preseason poll, UNC is the 4th-ranked team in Division I play going into the new season. ACC schools Virginia, Duke, and Notre Dame all made the top 5 as well, with the defending champions Virginia sitting at the top. The women's team is in even better shape coming in at the number 2 spot in the preseason poll. Once again, 4 ACC schools in your top 5, with reigning national champs Boston College sitting at number 1. UNC's ice hockey team has a new member, Gavin DiLorenzo, and he had a chance to make his impact felt in a rivalry game against NC State. Jacob Karabatsos and Tyler Chilton have your story.
It's awesome.
Let's get all the jerseys, man.
Yeah.
Gavin DiLorenzo is an incredible young man. Cancer survivor turned UNC hockey player. The team is with Gavin step by step, embodying what an athlete should be.
I think it's just kind of a testament to what hockey players are about. They've always been real professional and, giving back. That's what my vision of like a true hockey player is, somebody that gives back to their community, and that's the epitome of the Canes and the Tar Heels.
On November 29th, Gavin got his first chance to lace up for the Heels when he skated out on the ice with them for the opening puck drop and national anthem.
It feels really good to be a part of the team, see all the players, give them fist bumps, shake their hands.
He was able to get a standing ovation from a crowd dominated by State fans. And just seeing him skate out there gave the team an extra boost.
When the NC State comes out, people start booing, but then when I come out, people start cheering and clapping.
The game was close. Gavin sat in the stands, watching as his teammates attempted to come back from an early 3-1 deficit. But with each goal, there was no doubt they made Gavin feel like a real member of the team.
Coach Volkman and the whole Canes organization have been tremendous support for us through his battle of cancer. And, we always felt like they've been in our corner this whole time and lifting Gavin up when he was down. So it was really amazing to see him out there.
This was more than just a hockey game for both Gavin and the Heels. It was a testament to Gavin's fight. He just wished he could have been on the ice helping them win.
I want to say get back on the ice for a few more minutes. Skating around as fast as I can with my arms up.
Unfortunately, UNC wasn't able to come out on top in the game, but it stands as a reminder to us all to never give up, make the most of your situation, and inspire others. From Raleigh, Tyler Chilton, Carolina Week.
UNC, let's go Heels!
Such a touching story. And I mean, Gavin certainly looks like he could cook me out there on the ice. That does it for sports. Tune into Sports Extra Friday at 11:30 sharp for a full preview of Carolina athletics. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Zach. The big game against Duke is just a few days away.
Reporter Sabrina Ortiz hit the pit to ask students about their predictions.
With the much anticipated Duke UNC game being this weekend, I'm here on campus asking students who they think will win the big game.
So what's your name, what year are you, who do you think is going to win the Duke UNC game?
My name is Meredith. I'm a first year, and I know UNC is going to win it.
All right, so my name is Corbin Morley. I am a sophomore. I'm majoring in exercise science, and I definitely think UNC, no doubt.
I'm Josh Miller. I'm a sophomore, and looking how the season's going, probably not UNC.
I'm Josh. I'm a freshman, and I know I'm obliged to say UNC, but I unfortunately think Duke is going to whoop us.
I appreciate the honesty.
I'd say us. It's always close, but then, it doesn't matter. We're going to win.
UNC.
UNC? What about
Heels?
My name is Martha, and I think that Duke's gonna. UNC gonna win. UNC's gonna win. Sorry.
So who do you think's gonna win the UNC game?
Us for sure. UNC, definitely. I'm telling you.
Do you guys all agree?
Yeah.
Woo! So there you have it. Students are split on who's going to win the game on Saturday. A lot of optimism for Carolina, though. Go Heels. Reporting from Chapel Hill, I'm Sabrina Ortiz.
So, Julian, are you excited for the game?
I'm so excited. Just got my ticket last night. How about you?
Oh, my Lord, I'm so pumped. Let me tell you, I cried tears of joy, that is, when I got my ticket. Well, that does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Make sure to join us next week for the latest campus news.